Hey guys, it's Jessica at Stash Studio. I'm here to teach you how to make a clay gnome. So this is really simple. You can put a lot of fun twists on it. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our ½ pound of clay, just pinch off a little bit for a nose, and then maybe just a little bit bigger for any other little things that you might wanna make near the end, like a beard or a little something to go on the hat. So we've got, you know, about the piece of a jawbreaker bubble gum set aside. And then I'm going to kind of rip the rest of my clay in half, and I'm going to use the bigger one for the gnome body. I'm going to roll this. So I'm just kind of like cupping my hand and kind of pushing it into my palm where I feel the ball is kind of out of whack, so that it just kind of creates, doesn't have to be perfect, some sort of little clay ball here. All right, so from here you can do a couple of things. We could make a tall, skinny gnome. So we could kind of make a fat hot dog. The thing is though, we want him to be hollow so that he'll dry more quickly. So we just kind of stick our finger up in there, and now he's kind of hollow on the inside. And basically, he's pretty, even all the way around. This is a little thin right there, and this might be a little thick right here, so we can kind of pinch that out until we feel a little bit more uniformity. All right, so it should look something like that. But you notice like this isn't even here. We could either cut it or really just kind of tap it, and then it becomes flat. And this is wonky right there, but no worries. Kind of make him have like a little bit of a belly maybe. Okay. Any kind of cracks we can smooth out with our fingers, but really I don't worry about cracks unless they're structurally damaging until the very end, because we can just smooth all that. All that's kind of finishing. So now I've kind of got a really tall gnome. We're gonna do the exact same thing for the hat. So I'm going to roll into a ball, and then kind of make it tall. And I'm actually gonna kind of pinch into a point on one side, pop it down onto the mat a couple of times to make it kind of flat. And again, we want it to be hollow so it'll dry more quickly and not explode in the kiln. Very important. So we make it hollow, and I'm going to encourage with my fingers and by pinching kind of a point up here. If you start to get a lot of cracks and you're worried, you can just take a little bit of water, and that helps the clay be less resisting to being squeezed and pulled. So we can kind of stretch it out a little bit more while it's wet. So still have my finger in there, I can pull that out. Oop, got a little suction going on. All right, and then same thing on the bottom, except I'm going to kind of work it outward to make a brim. This is a different kind of clay than we normally use. It's requiring a lot more like water than our other clays. So I'm gonna kind of set this down. And the wetting it water is really helping it move around a little bit more without the cracking and breaking. If you do get some cracks, never fear. Just kind of fold it over and mush it back together. No one will ever know. Okay. So you can give the hat a little curl or a twist. Okay, kind of like that. So I'm gonna work on the nose and beard now. I'm gonna make this little guy gnome, excuse me. It's gonna, again, pretty much everything starts with a ball. Get your clay nice and smooth and prepped. I'm gonna wet it a little bit, and then I'm going to just kind of press flat, because I'm gonna make a beard to attach to his body. It doesn't matter how flat we get it, since it's gonna be like 100% attached right here, okay? So I'm gonna use my stick and give it a little bit of texture. If you want a girl gnome, you can do it without a beard. It's not an issue. You are free to do it however you want. Here's the important part about this video, okay? Anything that you create and want to attach to another piece of clay, you have to do these types of marks, which are called score marks, and then you have to wet them, okay? I've got a little bit of slip right here from some other projects. It's just really watery clay, so water will work, or a little bit of clay water called slip. I'm gonna score over here. And then I'm gonna wiggle this beard on. Woo! Might have gotten a little extra with the slip there. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing to his nose. I'm gonna give it a little tap, 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 so I have a flat spot to make my marks. I'm gonna add a little bit of water, tap that in. I'm gonna attach it right above his beard. Ooh, this is a big old schnoz. Big schnoz, okay. And then we do the same thing to his hat, okay? So look, this is hollow inside. We're gonna be trapping air in here once we attach this hat on. So this air has nowhere to go. So it will definitely explode. Hot air expands, if you remember from science class way back in the day. So we've got to give it an escape route. So this is very important as well. So after we get this on, gonna give it a little bit of a wiggle. Okay, we're gonna turn our gnome over and we're gonna stick our stick up through the top of the gnome's hat, and I felt a little give, and this way the air can come out through that hole that we put in there, okay? And so now we have a little gnome. And you can continue to play with them a little bit if you have any other extra clay and you wanted to try and make like a little buckle or flower or anything sitting on its hat. That would be fine. Just sculpt away and just remember to slip and score, okay? So you just use your stick to create. All right. Kind of looks like a big old buckle. Okay, and just remember, whatever you do and want to stay attached, those score marks, a little bit of water or slip, and then the wiggle, wiggle, wiggle is important. And then at the very end, that's when you can kind of smooth everything on down with your finger and a little bit of water. Get rid of any cracks, and then he's ready to go in the kiln.